Hey folks, today we are going to be ripping the old electrical out of our barn. Let's get into it. We're out in the barn and I've changed my plans a little bit. My goal today is still to get most, if not all, I'd love to get all, but to get most of the electrical, in other words, the existing electrical lines, outlets, bulb fixtures, everything ripped out today. But before I do that, I want to be able to easily see and get at where all the lines are running. So let me show you what I'm working with. Over here we have our breaker box, and I've already gone to town on a fair number of these things. I ripped this guy out. There used to be an outlet here that I already took out, and most of this wires, all of this is turned off at the meter, but all these wires are already disconnected. For the most part, I still need to get this box out and actually take the wires out of the box. But if you look up, you'll see that we still have a lot of insulation here. Or rather the ceiling tiles, which is actually acting as insulation. It's just styrofoam tiles that have been nailed in. And it used to span the entire barn. That pile actually back there behind the ladder is all the existing tiles that I already ripped down. And there's just a couple remaining around the edges that are held up by this metal framing, and then usually a nail was put in behind the framing, as you can kind of see that was done here as well. Before I get started on this box here and trying to figure out where all these wires run, I am going to rip out all of these existing ones, because trying to figure out where these wires run is going to be way harder if I'm having to kind of guess where the wires go on top of these panels. So first we're going to do that, and then we'll get to ripping out the rest of this breaker box. We've got the entire breaker box pulled out now. See, it used to be over there in that corner. It is now all gone. All that's left are cobwebs. It is almost 5 o'clock here, and I'm gonna call it for today. We got so close to being done. There are just a couple wires left. I may have showed you this before, but there's a wire that runs out right there from almost from the junction box even, and it's running behind all this insulation. So I'm gonna have to rip out the insulation first to get to that one. Oh well. And then there's a couple more wires running along the back here. This back room I think was used as an office because it's very distinct and different than all the other rooms. And it's basically feeding, those wires on the wall over there are feeding the outlets and light switches that are in that room. And I guess one of them must be feeding the light bulb that's in the top of the room too. And a couple of them run over here to a light switch here that I haven't gotten to yet. And then I believe that light switch was actually for like a barn entry light that goes all the way up there, just below that window. I'm not sure if you can see it with the glare of the light, but there's that's where the end of that electrical cable goes to. So maybe tomorrow or the day after I'll get the rest of that out. I'll probably leave this back room, the office room, just because I haven't really messed with any of it yet. I haven't even done the demo to remove the ceiling tiles or any of the drywall or anything else in that room. I do still have some drywall out here left too. But in the interest of time, I was thinking of maybe leaving it, although maybe I'll take it down in the next day or two. We'll see. One last thing I forgot to show you guys. This is all the electrical cable that I ripped out. Holy cow.